This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, January 13th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Back on January 5th, the Annapolis Police Department received a report of a sex offense that had occurred on the unit block of Juliana Circle West. The victim in that case was identified as a 13-year-old female, and the investigation quickly widened to include reports of child pornography. On Thursday, January 9th, the Annapolis Police Department arrested Jose Agueta, 44, of Glen Burnie, and he had come in contact with the victim as the driver of a church transportation van. And in the charging documents, it says that on 4 occasions, Argueta sexually assaulted the 13-year-old victim, and during some of them, pornographic photos of the victim were taken. Police are urging anybody with any information about this case or any others that may be related to contact Detective Piles at 410-260-3439. Also on Thursday evening, the Arundel County Police are investigating how an axe fight broke out in Odenton. Yes, you did hear that right. It was an axe fight. Just prior to midnight, they were called to the 1300 block of Huntover Drive in Odenton for an assault. When they arrived, they found that a 33-year-old male had assaulted a 51-year-old male and a 50-year-old female with an axe. The victims were able to gain control of the axe and ended up striking the suspect with it. All 3 individuals were transported to a hospital with serious injuries, and no charges have been filed just yet, but they are pending, and they will be charged upon release from the hospital. And since they have not had any charges filed yet, they have not released any of the names. On Friday night at about 9:30, the Arundel County Police responded to Whitaker Road and Huff Court in Pasadena for a shooting. They found 2 adult male victims who had non-life-threatening gunshot wounds to their legs. Both were transported to shock trauma for treatment in stable condition. One of the victims was a 33-year-old male from Pasadena. The other is a 24-year-old male from Annapolis. And the Anne Arundel County Police are still trying to figure out exactly how that all happened. Anybody that has any information is asked to give them a call at 410-222-6135. If you're commuting over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, we've got some news for you. Last night, they started dismantling 3 of the toll booths on the eastbound span. And according to Tamara Winfield, who's a spokesman for the Maryland Transportation Authority, they are going to be closing lanes 3, 4, and 5 permanently. In a statement, she said, "We are expecting minimal impact to traffic. The other remaining toll lanes will still be open for motorists to travel through." I'm not quite sure how by closing 3 toll booths you do expect a minimal traffic impact, but hey, that's why they're paid the big bucks. The goal is to have the bridge go all electronic tolling by the start of this summer. Governor Larry Hogan told Attorney General Brian Frosh to begin legal proceedings against both the EPA as well as the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for their lack of efforts in the Chesapeake Bay restoration efforts. In a letter sent to Frosh, Hogan said, "We have a generational responsibility to protect the Bay, and we simply cannot afford to fall short of these shared obligations. Therefore, I ask you to commence litigation against the EPA and Pennsylvania in close coordination with the Maryland Department of the Environment." Governor Hogan getting tough on Pennsylvania. Senate Bill 2, which was just introduced the other day, got me to perk up. It's a bill looking at tax money made from digital advertising. EyeOnAnnapolis.net is supported by digital advertising, so I was a little bit concerned there. And the money that they make from this new tax would go toward education funding. The bill does have the support of Senate President Bill Ferguson as well as former Senate President Mike Miller. And rather than go after the little guys like me, they're going after the big boys. Companies that make from $100 million to $1 billion worldwide would pay 2.5% in taxes to ads that were served to Marylanders, which is the lowest of the rates. And some of the big social media giants with more than $15 billion in digital advertising would pay a highest rate of 10%. With the legislature really looking to push and figure a way to fund the Kerwin Commission recommendations, this is probably one of those steps. No word on whether there's a companion bill in the House or whether this will get any traction. It is currently in the Budget and Taxation Committee. If you were watching football on Saturday night, you were probably disappointed. The Baltimore Ravens lost to the Tennessee Titans 28-12. It was the worst nightmare for the Baltimore Ravens. There were a couple shining moments for Lamar Jackson, but not enough to overcome the loss. And now the long off season begins. Let's wrap up today's news with some great news. Forward Brewing in Eastport will be opening their doors in the next few weeks. This is a 28-seat restaurant and nano brewery, which is located at 418 4th Street. And the husband and wife pair of Cam and Claire Bodrin have been trying to open this up for quite some time. The Capitol is reporting that it is scheduled to open in early early February, but possibly with some soft openings in late January. A nano brewery is actually smaller than a microbrewery, real small quantities of beer being able to be produced, and I, for one, can't wait. The Bodhrans have released 2 beers already. They have been brewed by another brewery with their recipe. I have not tried the red IPA, but the boat beer was very good. I had that at the Twist and Stout Festival back in September. All right, that does it for the top news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. Give us a rating or a review if you are someplace where you can do that because it would be much appreciated. If you didn't get a chance to check out our Legacy Business Spotlight on Saturday, you need to do that. That was with Elvia and Lynn from Annapolis Green, and there's all sorts of great stuff we learned from them. It is Monday, so we do have Ann Alsina with your Money Monday report. And of course, as we have every day, George Young is standing by with your local DMV weather report. All that in just 1 minute.
Hey, Annapolis, Eastern Shore, and Arundel County. My name is Rick Peters, and I'm the president of Solar Energy Services. Business is good in the solar industry, and we're currently hiring and training new installers. We also need experienced project managers and drafting specialists to help meet demand and bring clean, renewable energy to homes and businesses in Maryland and Washington, D.C. After 40 years, we can attest to the fact that there's never been a better time to join the solar workforce than right now, especially at Solar Energy Services, where our on-the-job training will allow for rapid advancement for fast learners and emerging leaders. We're locally owned and operated, we have a great work environment, and we offer competitive pay and benefits. And we like to hire for the long term because we believe our employees are our greatest assets. So be sure to apply today at solarsaves.net or call 410-923-6090 because sunshine's a-wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, January 13th. What a weekend with temps in the 60s and 70s each day, with yesterday especially nice as skies cleared following overnight storms, and there was plenty of sunshine across the region to make it feel more like March or even April than January. While today won't be nearly as nice, it will still be above average temperature-wise, with highs in the 50s despite tons of clouds. Ahead of more 50s and showers on Tuesday as a frontal boundary moves over the region, but it should clear fairly quickly, with sunshine and more 50s ready for Wednesday and Thursday, ahead of a cold front that will then drop highs to near 40 degrees on Friday before a very small but valid chance of some snow showers or light snow late Friday night into early Saturday morning, before temps then warm up Saturday back into the upper 40s or lower 50s as yet another storm well to the northwest of the Annapolis region moves through the Great Lakes region on Saturday and brings another chance of weekend rain with it. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching the Apple or Google App Stores for DCMD VA Weather. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Have you ever been to the Annapolis Mall when it opens for the day? Maybe you've noticed the line of folks waiting to get into the Apple Store. As you may know, I'm a Mac user, and today's episode of the Daily News Brief, in fact, all of the episodes of the Daily News Brief have been produced right here on my Mac computer. What you might not know about is Macmedics. They were founded here in Annapolis in 1989, and they are an Apple-authorized premium service provider, the only one in the Baltimore-Annapolis, D.C. area. And what that means to you is that they repair all Apple devices, including the iPhone screens and batteries, all without an appointment. And most repairs are done the same day, usually within 2 hours. They also sell everything except the iPhone and the watch for the same price as Apple. I don't know why you would go anywhere else. Give them a call at 410-757-MACS, or if you're not into the whole letter thing, 410-757-6227. Stop by their retail store in Severna Park on Benfield Road, or their service center in Lanham, right off of Route 50. Or you can always check them out online at macmedics.com. I'll tell you, they've saved me quite a few times, and I know they can save you.
Your money, managing and investing it can be confusing and sometimes scary. Here to help you put your financial picture into focus is Ann Alsina from CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. After a dip the previous week and a volatile start, the market continued to new heights last week, setting new all-time highs. While we expect continued volatility, meaning lots of daily ups and downs, the third year of any presidential cycle is typically a good year for stocks. Economic data continues to point towards a strong year. Congress also gave us a gift to start the year in the Secure Act, new legislation that impacts retirement accounts. If you own a small business, the legislation created pooled employer plans, which should make things easier and less expensive for a small business to offer a 401k to their employees. There were also changes made to safe harbor elections and the tax credit for planned startup and administrative costs. If you're still working past the age of 70 and a half, the Secure Act allows you to continue making IRA contributions. It also pushed the starting age for required minimum distributions, or RMDs, to age 72. This only applies to folks who have not started taking RMDs yet. If you turn 70 and a half before the end of the year, you still need to start those distributions. The biggest change in the Secure Act involves stretch IRAs. Previously, if you inherited an IRA from someone other than your spouse, you could stretch the distributions from that account over your life. You had to take RMDs based on your life expectancy, but the majority of the money could stay in the account and continue growing tax deferred. With the new law, all inherited retirement accounts must be fully distributed within 10 years, with a few exceptions for minor children or people with significant disabilities. This can have a huge tax impact, as a large inherited IRA now has to be fully taxed within 10 years. You should speak with your tax and financial advisors to see if a Roth conversion makes sense. Gradually moving money from traditional to Roth IRA not only reduces the eventual impact on your heirs, it also affects your retirement. High taxable income in retirement impacts the amount of your Social Security that is taxed and can cause your Medicare premiums to double or triple. The elimination of the stretch IRA can also impact conduit trusts established for your heirs. These are trusts designed to hold retirement accounts and are often set up in a will when you have minor children. Speak with your estate attorney about the potential impact on your estate plans. At CovingtonAlsina, we know that finances can be confusing or overwhelming. Taxes, insurance, retirement, college. That's why we're here. We use an empathetic, jargon-free approach to help our clients make wiser financial decisions. If you're interested in learning more, our calendar of educational events for 2020 is up on our website, www.CovingtonAlsina.com/events. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. CovingtonAlsina and Great Valley Advisor Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. This information is not intended to be a substitute for specific individualized tax advice. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
When a ring from the United States Naval Academy comes into Zachary's for a center stone, it always makes us wonder, where's this one going? Where's this one been? A nuclear sub in the North Atlantic? A carrier deck in the South Pacific? The moon? 52 astronauts are Academy graduates, from Iwo Jima to Okinawa, Corregidor to the Coral Sea, Midway to the Persian Gulf, Congress to the White House. These rings go where America goes. 73 that went to war were awarded the Medal of Honor. But wherever they go, wherever they may serve, our admiration goes with them.
Zachary's. Online at zacharysjewelers.com. More than a jewelry store, a jeweler.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.